Hello everybody, my name is Austin Randolph, and today we're going to kind of be talking about something that I wish people would have told me when I was just starting out, which is, should you, with your kind of beginner cheap guitar, modify it and make it your own? Just to get it out of the way, if you guys could subscribe to the channel, that would be, ideal. If you like what I do here, if you want to get notified for the video I put out every week, that's wonderful, and it kind of, it helps me a lot. So if you want a different way to support me and you've been thinking about like a Les Paul project yourself, I will link below the parts that I bought off of Sweetwater. So the tuners, the nut, if I can find it, and then the pickups. So I'm going to put my links for those in the description. Feel free to use them if you'd like. So this guitar started off its life as an Epiphone Les Paul Classic. $499, $599. I don't remember exactly what I paid for it, but really quick, because it's not really the point of the video, I'm gonna run through what I did to it, and then kind of an overall, like, is this a good idea for you? Who's this for? That kind of a thing. So first things first, starting at the top, I thought having a gold top with like the stainless steel Grover lima bean kind of tuners looked weird. So I, for 60 bucks, I think, bought a pair of the Grover kind of Kluson, more traditional Gibson-y style tuners, and I much prefer them. Again, there was nothing wrong with the stock tuners. This is purely aesthetic, but I prefer them with a guitar that was like made famous in the 50s. It just looks like it fits better. And then the big thing with, I guess I'll do the other little thing first. This is going to sound so goofy, and for some of you, you're going to want to throw whatever device you're watching this through a window. There was one little flaw in the paint when I bought this guitar. It looked like there was a tiny little bit of overspray right here. Well, right there is where your arm, like, traditionally rests. So I took a sharp knife and I leveled it, and the goal was also to show like a tiny little bit of finish, which, again, we'll talk about it after I talk about the pickups, and we'll kind of talk about like why I did this, should you do it, blah 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 blah. And then pickups. Pickups are the big one, right? So the big critique about Epiphones and Squiers and the PRS SE line, up until recently that is, has always been like the electronics. When you play it back to back with the big boy, whether it's a Gibson, an American Fender, PRS core model, you can hear that the pickups are either overwound or they're muffled, different, and that's the department where a lot of times money is saved, along with labor and whatever. But a lot of times the difference you hear is in the pickups. So I had a set of Seymour Duncan's Saturday Night Specials. Don't ask me why I had them laying around. I think somebody gave them to me like years ago, but I put them in here. So you have a pair of American pickups in here. So overall, that is, let me do some math here really quick. Actually, that's funny. I just looked it up, and the pickups are more expensive than I thought they were. So they're 278 bucks. So what's 280 plus the 60 for the tuners? So this has $340 worth of mods to this, we'll call it $600 guitar already. For math, let's call it 5. So basically that put this guitar up to, $850, right? Right? Wrong, and that's why we're getting to lesson number 1. I would be out of my goddamn mind if I listed this for $850 if I wanted to sell it, because you're never going to get that for this. That's the number one kind of rule of thumb. If you're modifying your guitar, if you're adding parts to it, whether to improve sound or playability or aesthetically, whatever you want to do, it doesn't really add the value you think. A lot of times I will draw the conclusion to a car, right? So which is more valuable? Okay, so like a 1995 Jeep Cherokee. They don't make them anymore. They're very quickly becoming like collectible classics. What's more valuable, a pristinely taken care of 1995 or a 1995 that some guys put like big mudden tires on it and a stereo system and tinted the windows, and you're getting the point, right? People, if somebody's buying that thing, they want that thing, not some guy's interpretation of that thing or some guy's somebody else's customized, personally modified thing for them. And that's kind of the same concept here, is that like you got to be really careful if resale value is important to you. You have to be super careful about it. Like, I mean, very little that you do can detract from the value, except for any kind of like self-relicking job. I've seen that a lot of times, like detract from the value, which, hey, weird. It's almost like the thing that I just talked about I did. So if you keep mods tasteful, it's not going to add to value, but it's really not going to take it away. What will take away value, if you care about that sort of thing, is if you mark it up yourself. Like, honestly, man, I think this looks better than the overspray. A little bit of exposed wood where your arm rests. That's just me. It was one of those things. The flaw in the paint would always catch my eye, and I would rather have, even if this guitar was made 2 years ago. So it's not a relic job. I get it. And most of you are going to think I'm stupid for doing it, right? I understand that. Just for me, I prefer this to look chunked up instead of a little bit of overspray. So that was like my point I'm getting at, is if you relic a guitar yourself, good Lord, don't expect to get money from it. Just like I don't really expect, to get money from this. So why the hell would anybody then alter anything about their guitars? And the answer is one of those things that it's hard to put into words, but I'll do my best. But it's because I pick it up and I play it more. And, is it worth the $100 that I lost in resale value on my $500 guitar if when I see it hanging, I go, ooh, and I reach for it a little more often? To me, yeah, that's worth it every day of the week. This is not like a 1959 Les Paul where people buy it as an investment. If you do that with an Epiphone, whatever, no offense, that's a stupid idea. So if your modifications, like I think the tuners are a pretty good example. The pickups completely change the way the guitar sounds. They make this thing sound incredible. This is a really remarkable playing and sounding guitar because of these pickups. But the tuners are a good example of this, right? They don't affect the functionality. There's really nothing remarkable about them. It was an aesthetic choice made by me. Doesn't add to the value of the guitar, and I don't know why this is, but it makes me associate this thing when I see it with a classic old gold top from the late 50s, and I touch it more, I play it more, and it spends more time out on the stand in my living room by my couch where I get to like look at it and it makes me happy. So when you're going through and you're kind of weighing the pros and cons of, should I put a new set of pickups in? Should I change the tuner? Should I change the nut? Should I put like a big Floyd Rose on my Strat, or whatever you're thinking about doing? Don't plan on getting your investment back in the instrument. If you do, congrats, you got lucky. And if you don't lose, pretty much like if you don't lose money because of it, then you did okay. That's not really what it's for. What it's for is making the guitar more comfortable, more appealing to you. This is all, and I think it's easy to forget. We're supposed to be having fun doing this, like playing guitar, talking about guitars, whatever. This is supposed to be fun, and it's supposed to fill your cup and bring you joy. And if doing little mods to a cheap guitar you have laying around makes it more fun to you, brings you more joy, well then I think it's I think it's worth every penny. Not to get like cliche, sappy, whatever. What do you guys think? Have you guys modified a guitar and then like made a killing on it? If so, let me know in the comments down below. Per usual, many of you don't need encouragement to do this, but if you think I'm completely full of shit, also let me know in the comments. It's all good for engagement. And ending with a little reminder to subscribe to the channel. I try to put out a video every week. And if you're working on a Les Paul, I will put links down below for these tuners, these pickups at Sweetwater, because we are, we're working together. We got a little thing going. So if you want to support me, that's a good way to do it. And until next time, everybody, I will see y'all next week.